Hello, and welcome back to Command Protocol podcast, episode 20 this time. Trying again. We did it. We remembered. I didn't call the wrong number out completely this time. How have you been, Andy? We've been gone for a while. 20 days we've been
20
gone.
days. I've been good, thank you. Playing a
What
bit
have
of
you been
golf,
up to?
enjoying the weather, playing some 40k, usual stuff, work, nothing.
Loving life.
There's more things to life than this podcast. No, I'm joking. This podcast is what we live for.
This podcast is great, and it's even better when I'm ready and available. So I've been to a festival, and what feels like a second festival. I went to Download Festival, Metal Festival, if anybody knows of it. And then I went to see Linkin Park and Deftones last weekend, so pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Spent loads of money, which is always good. I did see Green Day, but not on this tour. I saw them at Download, and they were okay. They were still old.
Still old, yeah.
Still,
I heard McFly wrote Download as well, right?
they were. I didn't see them. I wasn't there. I had to leave early, unfortunately, but I've been plenty of times, and I will go again.
I'll
So
definitely
nice.
go when there's some good bands that I like going.
So what have you been doing 40k wise? Have you been doing much 40k in the last 2 weeks?
I have been trying many new things to try and see what to do against the new meta that we're expecting. I've been trying Phalanx. I have been trying Awakened, Hyper. I haven't tried Annihilation Legion for obvious reasons.
Why not?
Why not? Wait, actually, +1 to hit and wound is actually pretty good against Big Nine.
Yeah, but they have to be half dead.
But then you have to be half dead, and there's nothing to make them half dead. So yeah, unless I go 2 Catans, 2 DDAs, but then that's just it's not really Annihilation Legion, is it?
No fallback.
I get told off for that.
No fallback on a free up.
Mate, when they've got flat 9 damage in melee, they don't want to fall back.
No fallback on a free up. Charge the shooty one. No fallback free up.
And obviously I've ignored Canoptek Court because I can't be asked with 18 race, frankly.
18, 12 or anything.
And I think everybody's going to be taking for race, so I don't want to take race.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played any tournaments, but I've been having a couple of practice games with some of the Team England boys. I've been playing Phalanx basically, non-stop Phalanx. No real reason. I'm not saying it's the answer. I just wanted to try it. I've not played it yet. I was like, I've played every detachment. I've not played Phalanx, and now I'm just completely hooked.
I mean, it's good. It's good, but then every time you get on the table, I'm just sat there going, I wish this was Starshatter.
Better.
I wish this was Starshatter. I would really like to advance this guy right now to get an angle. I really like the Silent King to move through a wall right now. But that -1 damage strat is such a drug, right?
Yeah, that's literally why I've been playing it, because I can just -1 damage any vehicle. It's so good. I mean, I haven't lost with it yet, so, fucking fingers crossed.
Not me, but then it's not been in tournaments, it's practice games. So.
Yeah, it's been practice. Oh, I played an RTT and won with it, but it's just a local thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like a major thing. And I'm not playing Lich Guard anymore. So, but we'll go into all that later on.
Yeah.
Obviously, we need to say it now because we'll always forget. If you like this content, subscribe. I know a lot of people. We got a big influx of viewers on our last viewers. Comment, like, subscribe. If you want to see more, we will do more eventually when we are not lazy.
It does help when you do quite well at a tournament as well.
Yeah, and we're just super busy. Like I'm so busy all the time, and we work opposite shifts, so it's so awkward to do these podcasts sometimes. But we're trying our hardest. We've made so many false promises, and we're going to continue doing it.
Yes, we are. But one day we'll surprise you and come out with a video.
One day we'll make more content, and then people will like it. But yeah, please do subscribe.
As soon as I learn how to use the software, you'll see like
there was another thing I swear I was going to say at the start, but I've already forgotten what it is. So
no, we're sorry that we've not been here for 2.5 weeks.
I don't know. It's probably something like that. I said we need to say this at the start, and now I've forgotten what it is. So
everyone has to like the comment and stuff like that. Yeah, everything. That's what you want, right?
Yeah.
Bye, Matt.
There was something else. It's fine. I'll remember it for the end again.
We need to get a crowdsourcing GoFundMe for your internet. We really do. If we have to start this one again and I have to monologue for the next 10 minutes because your internet craps out, we will not be happy, buddy. Anyway. Well,
no. You just got to keep talking.
Sure. Okay, well, I guess I'm talking. Are you back yet?
No, you're not. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's all back to
Okay.
normal. I
Panic
am.
everywhere.
I'm back.
Panic everywhere. Right. What are we talking about
Look,
first then?
okay,
Meta
I'm going to
Monday.
put this on the screen so something to talk about. Yeah, look at that. Talk about that before I disconnect again.
Meta Monday. It reads poorly for Necrons, doesn't it? It is
Yeah,
48%
it's
win
not great.
rate. It's kind of acceptable. Like, if we were 58% like some armies, then we might be looking at some nerfs. But 48% is kind of middle of the pack, which is kind of where we think we are now. No tournament wins again. I think that's like 3 or 4 weeks now. We've had no tournament wins, and we're also dropping in
Yeah.
popularity too. So we've chosen an interesting topic for our podcast, right? A dwindling faction.
Yeah,
Why?
we're despite these buffs that everybody was whinging about, we
Well,
actually haven't got buff that much, boys. Can you believe it? Wraiths aren't actually that OP, and I know it's coming from a Necron player that probably didn't need the change, but they're not actually that strong.
I think if you're playing more than one squad, it's a mistake. But that's just
They're
me.
so easy to get rid of in the meta. Like, there's just so much damage, so many guns that like, I
Big
think people
squads.
will fall into the trap of running three squads. I think that is in my
Well,
opinion.
the list we're going to look at later for the tournament we're going to this weekend, I don't think anyone's taking three squads, apart from one
No,
person. One
well,
person's taking three squads, but
but he's running Canoptic Court, so
so yeah,
it's more acceptable. But yeah, we've got 14 X and ones, X and O's, whatever. And yeah, not many players. Like 74. It's getting lower every week.
Hmm.
Even though we have been known, obviously Imperial Knights, Chaos Knights, they're big now. Everybody's playing Morty's Hammer. Like we have the anti tank to deal with anti tank.
And champions of Contagion too. But
Yes.
I'm more scared of champions of Contagion than I am of Hammer.
What, the fights first one? The one with the two
Yeah,
characters
but
fight
it's not
first.
the fights first. It's the I'm going to pick my Contagion based on how this game is going, and that can be savage sometimes.
Yeah, it is really good. It is really good. I played against it when they do the crit 5 sustain lethal
Hmm.
unit. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Full rerolls to hit, full rerolls to wound.
Oh yeah, it's you're basically getting 3 extra Death Shroud Terminators for free. So you just run a 3 squad with the Lord of Contagion, and you basically got 6 guys attacking. It feels like it's pretty.
It's brutal.
It is brutal, but it's not unbeatable. So
Yeah, we're just sat in the middle. Gene Stealer Cult, you can't really count. I mean, they got 17, but somebody did win an event. Blood Angels are going to be good now, obviously. Chaos Knights, Imperial Knights.
yeah,
Yeah, a thousand
it's
swords. This is just expected. Like if you were apart from Gene Stealer Cult, if you were to tell me the top 5 armies, then it would be these.
the thing is, what annoys me the most is the meta is so split down the middle right now that you've got 3 armies in Knights, Imperial Chaos, and Death Guard that are kind of hull heavy, stat checky, and then you've got Blood Angels, Gene Stealer cults, which are kind of, and Thousand Sons with the goats, which are kind of hoardy, and you need completely other armies need 2 different sets. We just need
But
3 DDAs,
yeah,
but every
yeah. I
other army is.
mean, Vortex Beasts are also pretty damn
They
annoying
are. They are.
to
They are
deal with.
indeed. Especially if they've got 3 forge
And they do
fields behind.
so much damage. It's just the damage is just too hard to compete with. That's the
Well,
issue I'm having.
we're an army that relies on resilience to stay alive and play the game. And when the game gets very killy, we can start to struggle sometimes
Yeah.
because our damage output isn't quite as high as theirs in concentrated areas. So,
So what have you been practicing? What have you been trying to combat this for you
everything.
personally?
I've been. So it's trying to find the right balance of teching towards things like Blood Angels and GSC, and then teching towards Knights and things like Praetorians are good into Blood Angels and Thousand Sons because they have the movement and the profile to kill Marines, but then they're just rubbish into Knights. So it's trying to build a list that kind of does both.
Mm,
Phalanx is nice, especially if you think about a 10-man Rob of Praetorians, because
was
the
thinking about
plus
that.
one to wound actually can do something, but it's the lack of rerolls that are kind of annoying. And then you go, well, I might as well go Starshatter for the same guys because I'm hitting on twos and I've got rerolls and I can plus one to wound anyway. So yeah, I've played a lot of Phalanx. I've tried Doom Scythes.
You did try Doom Scythe.
I tried a Doom Scythe against Marines.
Theo, yeah.
Yeah, that thing killed stuff. It really did. It killed things.
It also dies incredibly easily.
It does die incredibly easy. If they look at it, it just kind of goes, "Yeah,
It's a
I'm dead."
paper airplane. There's not. It's not. It should have
It's
-1 to
literally.
hit. By
Well,
the
it
way,
should have a four. It should have advanced quantum shielding for God's sake.
it should have a -1 to hit. I
It should.
feel
It should have
it
minus one
moves
to wound.
supersonic speed.
It should have -1 to wound if your strength is higher and a 4 pinball, and then it would be playable. But then it would also be 350 points.
Yeah, it would be broken. I think
Because they
that's
don't
too
want.
much.
It's kind of playable in Hypercrit where you can pick it up, put it down, and guarantee line of sight every turn to what you want, and you have a 4 pinball. But hitting on twos with it is actually really nice. And then crit fives is also an option as well because like
Why do you hit on twos?
Starshatter.
Oh,
So in Starshatter, it's funny because it hits on twos. He always gets the rerolls because you just try and position yourself in such a way. But yeah, crit on fives because no one ever picks the -1, the crit fives, do they? No one ever does because it's not. It's like we should be able to pick ourselves. Am I going to kill this? No, right. I'll make you -1 to hit. Am I going to kill it? Yeah, give yourself crit fives. It's but it could be an interesting answer in tonight. Some big nights, especially because they hit on threes. So then they don't want to hit on fours if they're not.
What strength is it? 12, right?
14 on the big gun.
Is it actually right?
And it's twiddling strength 8 on the little gun. So you're in on fives, but
it's a heavy death ray, isn't it? Not a death
yeah,
ray.
it's a heavy one. So, but it's only D6 plus 1. But it's still like if you get 6 hits from 3 shots, it's quite
if.
Well, yeah, if. I mean, obviously everything's if, but the
you just roll 666.
The crit fives thing that they choose from the ability is for the rest of your army into that as well. So if you can like back it up with, annihilation barges, for example, with double Tesla. Think, well, you get what I mean. If they've got a big night,
if you have a fucking vault. If you have a vault,
if they've got a lancer on full wounds, they might go, I'll give you the crit fives because I don't want to be -1 to hit because you're not killing me. And then all of a sudden, the rest of the army, including the vault, actually would get crit fives. Could you imagine? You draw the card where you get to choose sustained or lethals from the challenger cards, and then you pick sustained, and then you use the anti-character snipe, and you get 2 hits. How good would that be? How good? That is one of my things that I have to do now. Is now I've done. I have to manufacture a game state where I'm playing a vault. I get a challenger card. I get that one, and I get 2 hits. So that's what I'm going to try and do this next year, and it's probably going to take me that long. So.
Yeah, I've not drawn a single challenger card yet in any of my games because I've always winning early, and then they just catch up to me because of these fucking challenger cards. So I need to stop winning.
I've drawn 1. My last game, my opponent had a challenger card turn 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, when that gives them 12 points, that is pretty big.
And they draw the perfect card that they need, like fallback shoot and charge or something with like a big knight.
So I was playing against Death Guard, and I really didn't want any of the units to kind of yeet through my army and give contagion to the things on the backfield, so that the Death Shroud can come down into my backfield and 6-inch charge. So I literally formed an entire wall with my barge, with my DDAs, with my Silent King. I shot an entire wall of literally none of your stuff flies. You're not getting through this wall on this turn, so the stuff in my backfield is safe. You can charge with your Death Shroud into that wall. I'm absolutely fine with that. But he drew a challenger card, the one that lets him move 1 unit through buildings and models, and it's just like, oh, right, okay, well, I'll just do that. And all of a sudden, I had 6 Death Shroud and 2 Lords of Contagion sat in my backfield, and I was thinking, all that hard work, time, and effort, planning everything is just gone because of a 1 in 9 chance.
Yeah, these challenger cards are a bit wild when they pop off.
It wasn't fun. So And
Yeah.
I've only drawn the same. I think I've actually drawn two cards, but it's always been the same one. It's the one where you get points for the zone that you're in, where you can get like 3 points from the 4 zones. Um, yeah, I think it was on a game where I was clearly winning, but I was behind by 7 points going into the last turn, going second, and I scored like 35 points in that turn, probably
Yeah,
more.
it's like for people going second, it's so strong.
Yeah.
These cards, but enough about that fucking
Okay.
shit. So yeah, I've been playing Phalanx.
Mm.
Why have I been playing Phalanx? Yeah, because it's fun, and that's probably about it. It's like the worst version of Starshatter. It really is, obviously. But I just -1 damage on any vehicle at any time is just a hell of a fucking drug.
It's so good.
Like when you play, and it's any vehicle, which is so you just it's just good to have it reactive. It's like Star Shatter, obviously, is great. Like it's just got the better arsenal for your vehicles, 100%. But I just really wanted to play it.
Mm.
And I've just wanted to try it out, and I've tested a bunch of lists. Like fucking Lich Guard, I still don't like. I think they just don't do what I want them to do. They don't kill really anything in particular, and they're not that durable.
No.
The amount of 2 damage stuff in the game is incredible. Like
Or
there's
higher.
so much
Yeah.
to or higher, two or more. So they just die to it, and especially right now they're not doing anything, and you have to start building like skew lists with a barge and then stuff to get their OC high enough, and then reanimators don't actually help in that detachment.
Especially if they just get one shot. Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't. Yeah, there's no
I
need
mean,
for it.
shoving out a reanimator early with the feeling of pain and a -1 damage threat is
Yeah,
quite
but you might as well just have a
funny.
reanimator.
Yeah. I mean, Star Shatter, you have to pay 100 points basically for that because you need the character to hold
Yeah,
the. And then they know where it is, at least in Phalanx. You can poke 2 units out and they have one unit that's going to charge. Well, in Star Shatter, they charge the one that's not -1 damage, and this one doesn't matter because you just go,
and
ah.
you can also do stupid shit like tag that your opponent's stuff with a unit then imagine you don't want them to shoot or charge something that's important, and you need to tag this unit and tie them up. Well, but they're all really high, 2 damage or whatever. You can just charge a DDA in, which is what I've done before, and just tagged units up just and not be killed, just so I know that
Yeah.
I'll leave them where they are.
Like you can actually
But
charge Death Company with a DDA
yeah,
of minus
like
one
I don't think
damage.
it's an answer. I just want to play it. I've been having a bit of a break from playing super competitive because I've done the Team England application, and now I'm just waiting to start it again. So I'm just wanting summer to chill out a bit. I'm still playing, but I just need to chill out. My brain's just like getting a bit too sick of it. So don't want to ruin a good thing. Having a break from a hobby is always good.
Mhm.
But it's not the biggest break. It's not. I just don't want to play Starshatter. I'm just desperate not to play Starshatter.
It's unfortunately the best, but it is also a little bit one-dimensional.
Yeah, I just
Like
not.
Hypercrypt is much more fun.
Hypercrypt was amazing. Peak 40k Hypercrypt was.
Yeah, it
Like
still
that
might
was
be.
so fun.
There is an argument for going back to it, but
Yeah, somebody we know already has. But we will be covering the leads lists. Do we want to cover it now, or was there another topic? Oh yeah, we're going to talk about what was in there. And yeah, I think that's it. So we can talk about what was in there. Can I even
um,
share
well, we can
this?
we can talk about why we think Necrons are less popular now than they were 6 months ago. The
Yeah,
obvious answer is we're not as good as we were 6 months ago. So a lot of
yeah.
players are like, we'll swap and play our next army because
And we have
you
the
know,
kind of the Chaos Space Marine problem of that the meta's just shifting around us. So, people aren't running the bile bricks, bile with a possessed, whatever, because the amount of 3 damage in the game is just mental at the moment. So they just get absolutely eaten. And we kind of have had that same issue where we haven't been directly nerfed much at all. We've had a couple of points increases here and there and some reductions, obviously, with wraiths. But the meta around us is just changing so quickly. And because the damage is so high, we can't do what we're good at, which is survive. Like the warrior build was so good, and the warriors are still good, but we just can't compete with their damage. And if you play against somebody that knows what they're doing, they'll just shove their units forward and be like, "Well, you can't actually deal with this at all," and
Yeah.
then you're dead next turn.
The more we skew towards durability, the less the further we come away from damage, and
Hmm.
finding the balance between durability and damage is very tough. If we go for pure damage, then if we have a whiff turn or they go first, then we just get deleted. Whereas if we go for pure durability, then we're not killing any other stuff, so eventually we just get deleted.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's not the easiest meta to work out. However, it doesn't mean we can't do well. We just need a little bit of
Yeah,
luck.
we have answers like Catan are always like good into these vehicles. There's stuff like, obviously DDA's 100%. That's why
Plus
Starshatter is so good.
one
Wraiths,
Silent King.
yeah, boys. Phalanx +1 to wound. There are a lot of answers that we do have in it. We have a very big book, so it's just about trying to find the right combination. I think
Yeah,
I'm just not I'm just not interested in running 12 wraiths and that's it. It's just not my style. The warriors were like my I loved that. That was my right up my street. That kind of stuff because it's just about expression of like just doing bullshit rather
yeah,
than just trying to blow your opponent off the table, which you have to now because you can't let 5 big knights activate 5 times into your army
yeah,
because it just doesn't. You just don't live, and then they're right up in you. If you're against somebody that knows what they're doing, as I said, they will just fucking bum rush you if they know that you don't have the damage, and then they'll be up in your face, and you won't have a home
yeah.
anymore. And it doesn't matter how many walls of warriors you have, unless you're killing a couple of these big knights, then you can't do anything about it. So we had a look at Skorpekh, didn't we? We,
Yeah,
we
we
were
we tried Scorpio
we
Destroyers.
tried that. We looked at six mans. We looked at them in each detachment, like how much damage they'd be doing.
Yeah,
Phalanx had a pretty good damage output, but it was very similar,
it was
right?
very similar. Yeah, so when we had like Starshatter +1 to wound on an objective, Awakened Dynasty with the strat for +1 strength and AP. AP was the more important one, but it also let the Lord wound on 4s into the big knights rather than 3s, and then obviously crit 5s on Phalanx. The damage output was almost identical, wasn't it, into a standard big knight.
Yeah.
Once you start factoring in like a Lancer 4 up invul or an Atropos 5 up invul, then I think Awakened Dynasty falls off a bit because it's relying on the AP for the bad saves more. Once you put the invuls in, then that reduces the damage. And then obviously you've got sometimes you've got little extra buffs like Starshatter. You're more likely to have reroll ones to wound if you've got the King and the Barge. So yeah, I think it doesn't really matter which attachment you take them
Mhm.
in. Either we didn't look at Annihilation Legion with the +1 to hit and wound because we thought, well, there's no point.
Yeah, but it's got to get so like +1 to hit and win with Annihilation Legion is basically just Starshatter.
Yes.
Apart from they have to be half dead.
At which point you've got a 6 blob that is overkill anyway. So
Yeah, like it being half dead is the same difference as a little dog now, right? It's you're still
yeah,
winning it on 3s. You're still with the big guy. You're still winning it on 5s with the small guy. Obviously, +1 to wound changes that,
yeah.
and then it's the same. It's the same apart from it's already dead. So
But
you're not sending a 6 man to kill a 3. You would just put a 3 man in to do that then if you
yeah,
wanted it in. But then it'd have to be already half dead anyway.
yeah.
And it's just finding something that can do that. But also the issue we were having with the 6 mans is it's hard to hide, and once it's out there, it just dies.
It just yeah. Every time I played it, I would have it in because UKTC have changed their maps as well, so we've been looking at it in terms of that. So you hide them in the big L, which is usually near the center now. It's not necessarily in your backfield, and then they would hide there, hide there, hide there. The opponent would know they were there, so they just play the flanks. Eventually, they have to come out, and Matt, you've disappeared, but that's fine. Eventually, they'd come out, kill something. More often than not, trade down because of the point. It's like 270 points for that unit, and then they would just die. Like there's so many things that just go through.
They're
But
got
yeah,
no info, and they're just a 3 up set. They're just basically heavy intercessors, right?
yeah,
They just melt. There's no no defensive capabilities of that unit. It's one and done.
yeah, and
So. That's the issue I have with that, and that's one of our main outs. Like we've got that is a good threat,
Yes.
but on the new layouts for UKTC, if you've got a 32 millimeter base and you're good in combat, that's like perfect territory because people that stage around the giant L, you can go up the floors and
Yeah.
then just fight down. So you
And they
can't
just
stand an
die.
inch away.
Yeah. They
You
just
can't
die
stand
there.
an inch away, and then but we can't do that because our bases are too big, and yeah, you just die. You end up dying, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
So it was worth a try. Like Catan, I'm not massive on Catan, but I can
It's
definitely
just so
see running
slow.
him.
That's the problem.
Yeah, but on the UKTC board, like you can stage to the center really easy, but on GW boards, there's not that much staging towards the middle.
No.
There's a bit, but it's hard to get from your home to the middle. It is quite a jump.
I mean, if you're playing a
So,
Catan, you need to play a lot of guns behind it because then in that
mm,
situation, you step out to try and get to the middle, and they go, right, I've got one chance to
yeah,
kill this Catan. I'm just going to put my whole army into it, at which point you then need to be able to do more than 300 points of damage back. That's the way. Like, if you try and play the flank objectives with Catans, they can just run through a wall and you're never catching them. It'll be like Benny Hill running around. They're just too slow
yeah.
to actually to get
The,
there. So,
yeah, I don't mind them on UKTC because of the ability to stage in the center
hmm.
easier, and they can hide behind those tiny L's on the sides now as well. Like they can
And
hide reasonably well.
the little perspex strip is
Yeah,
is
but
magical.
it's just getting to where you need them to be. They are
Yeah.
very slow. They're kiteable against a lot of armies. Sometimes they just whiff, but Starshatter, obviously, I can see them. If they get the reroll ones as well,
Mhm.
anything like that, they're still definitely hard to kill for some stuff. It's just that
But
T Suns, for example, will just walk all over that. T
yeah,
Suns, Death Guard probably wouldn't even give a fuck either,
no,
and
I
Big
think
Knights would just Big Knights if they can see it, it will die. Is
no,
usually going to be it.
I think the big knight's problem is the melee. Like I would want to charge the Nightbringer into a big knight, but if he does whiff, which is possible, now they've got like 28 wounds
Yeah, but everybody's
with
running like
with flat 8 damage, they just swap them aside.
yeah, and everybody's running like the Atropos though, which is
Yeah,
still it's hitting on twos, winning on threes, and
it's still
then
half damage though, which makes
yeah,
a big difference.
yeah,
And
but
Primal
it's
Feeling
it's
Pain is like
it's
third
two
damage.
damage, but if they can see you, you got to get to them.
Yeah, that's the problem.
They're faster than you. They can just run away,
They
and
they are
they've
a
got a
good
lot of
answer
it.
to Death Guard. They
And they've
are a
got,
good
and
answer to
also
Death Guard, but
they're okay in Death Guard. Sure, surely
well,
they've got enough damage, Death Guard, because they've got the melter, those little melter guys that will all get. They're pretty good into them, and they're so cheap as well, and they're faster with the tanks. Are faster,
hmm.
and wouldn't against champions or something like the lethals as well. The amount of lethals, I can't
they
imagine it's a bad
they
thing.
get a lot of lethals. The thing is, though, if they're going to put a lot of their army into killing a Catan, we are. It means our DDAs survive, and the DDAs is what's going to do the damage to them in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
And
if they have to, I think they would,
if
wouldn't
if
they?
if you hide the Catan in the centre-ish area for a couple of turns while you do a few trades, then they get to a point where they don't probably have enough damage output to actually kill a Catan with the rest of their army.
It's because they've got so much more army than us. Like they can have three bloat drones for one Catan.
Yes,
And that
and
shit's
less.
just doing so much damage.
Yeah,
Like we have to get that they're just outranging us. Speed. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
can see an argument for taking them, especially in mass.
yeah,
People have taken them in mass for leads. Some people. I can still see an argument for doing it. Like Hypercrypt, you could probably still run a Catan variant of Hypercrypt because hordes aren't as prevalent, and it still is playable. But it's like rock paper scissors, really, isn't it? At the
yeah.
moment,
I
you
also
basically
think Sorry,
go
I
on.
also think that Catan's is like a default for a lot of Necron players. Like, okay, the meta looks like this. What can I try? I have no idea what to take. Every list that I build has got serious flaws into other parts of the meta. Sod it, let's just Catan spam because
Yeah,
that's just it's hard for anyone to deal with.
yeah.
Even though
And
they can
Gladius
deal with it.
Ultramarines will just fucking nuke the shit out of that as
Yeah.
well. And
Well, yeah,
that is one of the top armies in the game at the moment. Gladius Ultramarines still like the guess what? The change to Calgar didn't matter.
didn't
It
do anything.
actually is a buff,
Yeah, because they got
really.
more points, didn't they? Now.
Like they lose five CP. Okay,
Yeah,
5 out of the 30 they were getting, by
yeah,
the way, because they were getting
yeah.
30 CP a game. So they lose five of that. I think they lost 10 actually because Gilliman can't use his ability twice, so they might have lost 10 CP.
Yes, he can.
10,
It's once per turn still.
is his one per turn still?
I'm pretty sure it is. I'll double check, but I'm pretty
I
sure.
thought his is one of the ones that changed. I thought he was definitely one of the ones that changed. But if it isn't, then whatever. But yeah, like, and then they got cheaper. Like both of them got cheaper. They got like 80 points more, and they get +1 to wound still. It's really rough as well. Like they're wounding Catan on 2s with nearly everything. So yeah, it is really tough, that one.
Okay, he has changed to once per battle round.
I thought he had, yeah. So 10 CP they've lost, but doesn't matter.
I swear that people have been playing that as once per turn still against me.
Well, they're wrong. But anyway, I'm going to share a tab from Leeds. So this is all of the stuff that people are playing in Leeds, because we're both attending Leeds.
Yeah.
This is my first GT since the German one, so it's been a while. I've not really, we'll talk about our list as well, and we will put the list. That's what I was going to say. We were going to put the lists in the description after.
The whole list, right?
Yeah, mine, not your whole list, because
The whole list.
Andy has written some quite funny but huge fucking paragraph as his list title. Oh my god!
Don't know what
But
you mean.
I will post that in the thing. But
I did forget to put our podcast name on.
I did initially, but then I changed my list. So
Yeah.
hoping you guys can see that. I think you can see that. I'm going to say you can see
Yes.
that. So this is basically all of the lists that are there. Apart from the Necron one is incorrect by 1. But this is the rundown of all the lists that people are playing at Leeds, right? 29 Death Guard. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not 30 because I think Nathan Roberts
Oh yeah, Nathan Roberts
won
is playing
Glass
Blood
Hammer
Angels.
with Death
He
Guard, and
did.
now he's going to Blood Angels, which
Yeah, what a baller. Like
yeah,
29 is mental. 29 players, 12% of players are playing that.
1 in 8 players basically.
Yeah. And then but
Is
also you've got Imperial Knights at 18 and Chaos Knights at 15, which makes that a total of
63.
25, sorry. Is that right? 25%. So a
Yeah,
quarter of the entire fucking
tournament in
players
3
are,
armies.
are playing 3 factions, which
Yeah,
is just insane. Where have you guys been when they were weak, by the way? Fucking phonies.
playing every other army that was at the top of
Yeah,
the
you
list.
fucking meta sluts. We're out here slogging away with our constantly good army, and you're just playing the other best thing. But yeah, we've got 13 Necrons. It's not 14, it's 13 because we had a drop.
Um,
Blood Angels still high. Blood Angels being that high is nuts as well.
no, it's expected because they got some
Yeah, they got
points.
a lot of buffs, but it is nuts seeing it that high. Normal Space Marine, like there's almost as many Blood Angels as there are on every other Space Marine, generic Space Marine. A lot of World Eaters as well. I'm very surprised at that there are that many World Eaters.
What surprised me is there's not that many Tyranids. Tyranids is usually one of the most popular armies.
Yeah, and they've just had a really cool detachment.
They have, yeah, and
So a friend of mine who is local to here, he's coming with food. This is going to be his first GT. He's plays Tyranids and World Eaters. His name is not Richard Kilpatrick. It's another guy that plays World Eaters Tyranids. His name's Dan.
yeah,
He's going to be joining us for food. He's a really nice dude, and
yeah,
he's playing the tunnel nids, which is
yeah.
really cool. And I've seen them try out those Hive Guard that have anti vehicle 2 up and indirect. So,
I still remember. No, the indirect. It's not indirect on the anti-vehicle 2-up.
is it not?
The indirect's the other gun, but I remember
Is
Hive
it?
Guard in 9th edition when I first started playing, and my friend just used to bring 3 full max squads of them and hide them in the ruins at the back. I just delete
Yeah.
my army, and by
Yeah,
the time I
Richard
got
did
to
that
him,
too.
I would have like one guy left from each squad getting into melee, and then just their little close combat weapons would just be enough to kill him. I just like, yeah,
Yeah,
this is miserable.
that's also how I grew up playing fucking Warhammer, is
Yeah,
playing against that bullshit. But yeah, not many nids, and I've played against the new detachment quite a bit, and there's barely any T Suns. That was what has really shocked me,
yes,
is
I
that there's
was.
only 6 T Suns
They
players.
are
Like,
pretty good T-Suns players, though, let's be honest.
are they?
In the
I actually didn't even look properly, but uh Yeah, you tell me.
Well, there's oh
I know Brett Smith. That's the guy that we both played against, but that's the only
yeah,
person's name I even recognise. I don't
Lewis.
recognise.
You recognise Lewis?
Yes, Lewis. Yes, sorry. Yep. Sorry,
I'm
Lewis.
sure he'll do well.
Yeah, Lewis from Lords of War. Yeah,
Okay, I must have been
and
looking
then
at the last hammer.
that's the only person.
One.
I know of the Sanguine Spanners because I played against their team once, but
Hmm.
um, yeah. So cool. Yeah, that's the rundown. So we are still popular at this tournament, like popular enough, which
Yeah,
I'm surprised at. You know, we're one, two, three, four, five, six, seventh.
I'll be brutally honest, mate. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm so glad that Thousand Sons are so badly represented. I'm disappointed that Eldari are so underrepresented as well because they're a pretty good matchup for us.
And Eldari is still good, by the way.
Just new players,
I
yeah.
watched Liam VSL like just do naughty things to David Gaylord on TTS the other day. Like that is still a good army. It's just that everybody dropped Yanari. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just how it is, right? It's just how the community works. I think is
but
their stuff gets slightly nerfed. And everybody wants
I'm
to
very surprised there's
swap.
only one Custodes player
Yeah,
because
me
I would have
too.
thought Custodians were really good into Knights, Death Guard, and Blood Angels.
They're not so good into the big nights. I
I
don't
mean,
think.
Venetari, mate, with in like Shield Head.
Well, just that new detachment, wounding on threes, or wounding on fours. Sorry, that new detachment plus onto wound. But
The Alliance is good, yeah. So like 6-3-3 Venetari is where I would start, and then
yeah,
go.
I am quite shocked at that as well. I've not even looked. I was hoping there was a lot of custodies because I want a lot of 2 damage armies to
Yeah,
play into me because I need to. I don't want to be playing against all these multi damage things. I mean, the Blood Angels is good enough. World Eaters is also good. Tyranids is good. Dark Angels is good.
yeah,
But Emperor's Children, so on. But hey, we'll be going through our lists in a minute.
yeah. But I
So yeah,
mean,
those are the lists. So those are the armies. What were you going to say? Sorry,
it's just
Andy.
a weird breakdown.
It is not what I expected at the bottom end. I'll be
No,
honest with that. I mean, thousands, and people might just think that they can't play Thousand Sons if they don't have 18 goats or something. Is probably
no, but there's so many
wrong.
builds for Thousand Sons. Things like Admech. Like to me, Admech seemed like a really good army into Knights because they have so many bodies that the Knights
Oh,
just them.
Admech is a swing. It's a big swing. It's a swing game. That if
Yeah,
Admech go first, they will just like do so much better than if they go second. If they go second,
yeah,
like it's really bad. Look, they can lose. Like it's pretty much decided on who goes first or second. Now I've seen the game. It's depends on the build as well. They don't really take like what they used to take to do the damage. I mean, they could take those guys on the tracks, whatever they're called. They could like one shot something, but
yeah. I'm also surprised that we haven't seen a bigger uptake in Drakari because like a lot of Haywire is exactly what you want right now.
Drukhari are very good into the knights. I
Into
have
like
also seen that.
you got your Scourges, you've got
Yeah.
your
I
other
mean, you got the Talos, the
Valor.
Scourges, like even just the Venom, like with the guys inside.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff that they're good at for that for
so that
sure.
surprises me that they're
It's just
just,
people owning it, right? People wanting to play it and owning it.
even I've got some Drakari upstairs.
Yeah, that's probably why you've seen a bit more of a Tau resurgence. Like I wouldn't expect them this high up. I'd expect them lower down because they just got like hammerheads and good stuff into tanks. All right, let's run through the lists.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, mate. Your list here is so wrong.
My
Is it?
list.
Is it? Yeah. There's 11 custodies. I've just checked. There's
There's
11.
11.
There's 11 custodies.
I've
There's
well, whoever sent me
five
this is full of
five
beans. Then
Drakari. 5 Drakari. There's 13 Nids. Yeah.
well, they said that they pulled this directly from the list checking document.
17 World Eaters.
Yeah, whatever. Well, sorry, folks.
Nice one, Matt. 16 Blood Angels is
They
right.
said that this was pulled from the dock. Well, I've just been lied to.
You,
I've
yeah.
been, I've been made a fool. It's not. I didn't get this list.
How can anyone trust anything that we say now, Matt?
Yeah, no, we've been made look like an idiot. Yeah, well, fair
Anyway,
enough.
moving
But
on.
moving on, as I
Moving
said, onto the lists. You've ruined my mojo. Right, first list. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lists to look through.
9 lists to look through.
9, 2,
Yes.
3. I've only got 8 here. I don't know if you've doubled up by accident.
We'll find out. Anyway,
All right, so
let's
first list. Boom. We've got Tom McKeever.
Mhm.
Apologies for anybody that mispronounced your name because I will. It's not about when, it's
No,
when.
don't apologise. People tune in to watch us.
Um, very terrible name. Rate 0 out of 10 for
Yeah,
name.
exactly.
Do better, please. We're playing Hypercrypt. We're back, boys. Hypercrypt. We've got 3 Catans.
3
Okay.
Catans.
And we wanted to mention some of these choices in some of these lists because I don't know why. I just want to
Well,
know why.
monoliths are
3
back, baby, because there's a monolith.
Monoliths are back. He's got 3-man wraiths, which we were looking at briefly because we were
Yeah,
like, oh, 12 wounds, 4 up inborn, 110 points. That's basically the
moves
same as a stalker, but it moves through walls and
moves 10, maybe
slightly
kills
less
a couple of
toughness.
mortals.
Yeah, it's like, a little trading unit, get on the point.
But ultimately,
Mm.
just worse, right? For 110 points.
Yeah,
Less
I mean,
toughness, less damage. Um,
I'd rather just have them together and then pay for a Technomancer.
yeah, especially with the monolith,
Um,
and pull them
yeah,
through the monolith
yeah, yeah.
and have some
And
fun. So he doesn't have the uppy
Locust
downy,
Destroyer,
the extra
extra
enhancement.
Fidona, yeah.
Yeah, so he's only picking up 2 units.
Skorpekh Lord, 6 Skorpekh Destroyers. My boy's been listening to the podcast before we even spoke about it.
Yeah, he's going to be
Um,
disappointed with him though.
Monolith. He's actually put Death Rays down on his thing, so well done because everybody forgets to do that. Puts Gauss flayers on. Um, yeah, single destroyers.
Yep, I
It's
like them. I like
yeah,
them. The,
but he's got this
the,
solo plasmancer.
yes, that's the weird option, isn't
This
it?
is the thing. We're like, why does he have this solo plasmancer? Because with 60 points, you could get flayed ones, which he doesn't have.
Yeah,
And I don't see we deduced that he's on the smallest base, so for 55 points that you can get.
yeah.
So maybe he just wants this thing with a tiny base. Oh no, wait, isn't a Royal Warden on that
No,
base?
Royal One's bigger
Is he
base.
on a bigger? All
Yeah,
right, well, yeah, he's on a tiny base, so maybe it's that, and he might do 2 mortal wounds.
yeah, but like so, you bring the monolith down, you hike the plasmancer through and do 2 models. That is exactly what I want. OC1 doing objectives, like yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
just doing an action,
it,
dude.
it feels like he had 60 points and nothing else to put in, maybe, but
Yeah, but might be a newer player. We're gonna keep an eye on him. All of these lists that we put up here, we're gonna talk about again after the tournament and see how they did.
yeah, we might as well.
All right,
Well,
next one.
if obviously they are at the tournament and want to come over and say hello, then please do
Yeah,
as well. Answer the questions that we're going to be asking about.
yeah.
Right,
We're
why are you
asking,
taking
why have you
this
taken this? We're
answer?
not slagging you off. We genuinely want to know what you're thinking when you want to do it, and if we can ever help you improve on anything, then that'll be
Yeah.
awesome. All right, we've got another Tom. Well, he's a Thomas.
He's a Thomas, and I'll
He's a
let you know
Thomas.
his name.
Thomas Aldred
Muslim.
Musler. Yeah.
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 Starshatter.
Star Starters Scopt.
Okay, that's
Don't know
another
if
one.
I don't know if he was smelling toast when he was writing that list name, but
Hot stuff.
he's got double hex mark. Okay, this is another strange one
Mm.
that we can see as you go a bit further down.
It's the thing that's I own list. It has to be right.
So
Yeah.
it's Starshat with double hex mark, Imotekh, Locust Lord. Well, it's almost like he forgot to post one of his units. Is what it feels like. Locust Lord with the
It
ignore
does cover.
cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, another Locust Lord. Solo Plasmancer with demanding leader. Oh, what
Yeah.
unit is he going with? We don't
Yeah.
know,
I
boys.
don't know.
We don't know. He's
Nothing.
got triple DDA, flayed ones, and then boom, 9
Nine
Locust
animals.
heavy destroyers. He
Yeah.
has been watching Mark Cromwell-Holmes content if he produces any, because that
Yeah.
man loves his destroyers.
And
He's got
just
Ophidians. He's got more destroyers. This guy is playing fucking the best Annihilation Legion list that we could
yeah.
muster up because
I
it's not an Annihilation Legion.
I have to wonder what meta he's expecting when he's bringing 6 Enigmatic destroyers.
He's literally watched Ed Watts play his 120 guardsmen last weekend, and he's like, I need to
I
counter
need
that.
to- So
I don't want to play against this.
one thing that I was going to talk to you about was in Starshatter the potential of taking the Locust Heavies with the Ignores cover and Omnitics, and then just using them as a pretty average 15 damage into a little knight.
Well, that's what
They,
we were doing back in Nottingham, right?
yeah. So because obviously the 3 Gauss, you don't want to take the Lord because it's just they don't. It doesn't really improve their damage output by much, and 3 shots kind of 2 hit and then they make a save, 6 damage. Whereas with the Omnitics it doubles up because you hit the hordes, but with the +1 to hit and the +1 to wound and the ignores cover, they do like 1 tap a little knight. So I was thinking that they
Oh, for
could
the
be
Gauss, you mean? Sorry.
no for the Omnitics.
Yes, yeah. The Imotekh are good. I was even thinking of running 3 Imoteks in Phalanx because you can do the crit 5 strat on them, so you don't even need the
Yeah.
Lord.
The thing is, you don't get rerolls and you hit on 3s.
Yeah.
So you're not getting quite as many hits as you are here hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s.
It's
So
objectively not as good.
yeah,
Like,
I think it's average 49 hits hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s.
yeah, I mean,
And I
but it
think
was
it's
only 1 CP back when we
42.
used it last.
Yeah, and I think it no, and then I think it's 42 hits hitting on 3s, crit 5s.
Yeah, it was good. That was good times. I mean, you would do something that was on a 2-up save base. I think you'd do 12 wounds to it because it would be a 3-up.
Yeah. The ignore cover
12,
matters, which
and
is
it
why
was yeah.
the second Lord without the ignores cover is just a lot worse. At this point, you just take them and save the Lord because the Lord doesn't
Mhm.
actually makes the average damage per point
So
worse, whereas one with the
yeah,
ignores cover makes
he
it
does have like a. If these were all Gauss, that would be reasonably scary for a night player to stick out.
better.
Uh,
Please, I showed you a list with 9 heavy destroyers with Gauss, and you were like, "No."
it's because you wrote it.
You were just like, "Have you copied Mark's list?" I'm like, "No, no, no, no. This is no vehicle anti-knight list."
Yeah, but he had
Right.
3. He has 3 DDAs as well, not just 9 heavies.
Yes, yeah, but he doesn't have the
But
king.
they do just die. Yeah, there's no king. There's no
And there's no
rerolls at
reroll.
all, which is the main issue. Like, maybe he doesn't have a barge, but besides the point, he's got a Plasmancer with demanding leader, which I would just rather have on a hex mark, and then you just save the 50 points,
There's
55 points.
there's also no
Pardon me.
-1 damage for your
Yeah, there's no -1 damage on your for your
all
DDAs
your
or your
Imotekh.
heavies.
Yeah,
Which, yeah, it feels like it's just a bit of a swing and a miss with this one. He could easily cut this character, and then put both the enhancements on here.
or you
Like
could
that.
put it on the you could put it on the Locust Lord.
Well, just anything. Yeah.
Yeah, although at least you can say this: there's no Trazyn.
There is no Trazyn.
Yeah.
But where there is a Trazyn, we will get to.
Yes.
All right. Boom.
Next,
So now we've got me.
a
Oh, it's
scrub
me.
called Batmel.
Batmel. That was what people used to call me in high school sometimes.
This is a really bad
Um,
misname, I've got to say. 1 out
I
of
cast +1 to wound. Yeah, this was so I changed. Little story about this list. I originally, me and Andy were obviously both losing our fucking minds, trying to decide what we wanted to take, and we were like, "Do we take this? Do we take that?" All with 0 practice games from me personally. I was like, oh, I had a couple, but they were only Phalanx. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take. I was like, oh, I was gonna take Phalanx. I was like, no, we were thinking of a list to take together. We were like, we'll take these Wraiths, Starshatter, da da da, and it's like, no, no. I said to him, I was like, I'm taking a Vault. I'm taking a Vault in Phalanx. I'm not taking anything else. And he's like, no, no, play Starshatter. It's just better. It's better in every way. Even if you just want that. I was like, no. And then I caved in and I took Starshatter and I submitted my list for Starshatter. And then I went to bed on Sunday. And then I was on the train home on Monday at 1 p.m. And I noticed I could still change my list. I was like, I can't. I have to change it to Phalanx. I was like, he'll never know until it's too late. And I changed my list to Phalanx. Shout out to Global Taunt from the Discord that we're in, because he gave me a little bit of an idea with this Skorpekh Lord. So what is it? It's Phalanx Everybody knows what Phalanx does. It lets me get +1 to wound from 3
Uh,
units in my army.
you get more OC for 4 units, right? You got 2 Stalkers Praetorian.
Yeah, no, 1 Praetorian.
Yeah, you got 2 Stalkers, 1
4
Praetorian
units.
King. Yeah,
Yeah, I can do
and
extra OC on the king.
Imotekh.
Imotekh as well.
He
Yes.
counts. He gets +1 to.
Yes, he does. He does. Okay, so I can do +3 OC for each vehicle for Silent King. So 17 OC for that unit. Job
Yeah.
done. I can do crit 5s. So the Skorpekh can do crit 5 lethals, or he can do crit 5 lethals, or these can, but not the Vault. Can't use it on Titanic.
No, it's very
But the main reason I'm taking it is because it's mine. I've got -1 damage for any vehicle on demand, shooting or fighting.
yeah,
1 CP.
it is good.
It's not like the most OP shit ever, but I just love it.
And
And
the
go on.
the OC one is really strong too.
And the OC one, it can be strong as well because it makes the Stalkers OC7 or them OC10.
Yeah, which is huge.
And yeah, so I'll just quickly run through it all. Imotekh is by himself at the backfield because I need the CP. I'm spamming -1 damage every shooting phase and every fight phase.
3 times per.
Yeah, it's just like spam, 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 done. And that and OC, did nothing else. Reroll. Skorpekh Lord, because him and the little lads will like finish off a big knight or kill a little knight
Or kill a drone.
or kill a drone or whatever. They'll kill something. Silent King, because this is his detachment, baby. Starshatter's got nothing on this. Spider for the feel and the pain because T-Suns are prevalent. Apparently not.
Apparently not.
But mortal wounds as well, and just having a 6-up feel and pain can just really help with some difference of when they shoot you with something that's exactly 3 damage of 3 wounds. If you roll a 6, you're like, okay, cool, I can tank another save.
Yeah.
And it's just nice.
You've also got to think about challenger cards. There is an argument because they can now double grenade you with the same unit.
There are just a lot of mortal wounds knocking about, and I'm just not a fan. And when I've got something as big as a Tesseract Vault, I need it protected.
Yeah.
2 DDAs, because why not? Why the fuck? Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I took Ophidians. People kept on harassing me, and then saying, why do you hate Ophidians? Why do you not like Ophidians? I'd said why I don't like Ophidians,
If they're shit.
but I said that I will keep playing. But there's the Chaos Knight strat, right, for sticky 5,
and
they have 6 OC and they go up and down.
Yeah.
I am going to continue playing these in every list, in every tournament, until they win me a game. If they are the deciding factor of me winning or losing that game, and I would have only won that game with them, I will continue to play until that happens. And if I continue to play them for the rest of my life, well, guess what? It's because it never fucking happened, and I'm right either way. And I'm just making myself suffer 80 points down.
They have won me 1 game in my practice games.
Yeah, they've not won me shit. They actually lost me a game, so that was fun.
They're so bad. But yeah.
But you know what? Okay, it's cool. It keeps your opponent back a bit. I can see the advantages of them. I personally just don't like them. It's not that I'm saying that they are objectively bad. I personally do not like them. It's just I want to do damage with my units, and I don't care enough about the uppy downy. And I'm sorry, I've not taken flayed ones. I feel terrible for not. This is the first list I've not taken flayed ones in.
Yeah, I think you're missing flayed ones. I also think you're missing that 3rd DDA, obviously. We've had many conversations about this.
Maybe I could have dropped a Vault, but I want to play it. So
no, there is a Vault 3 DDA King build.
Yeah, but it's just got nothing left. There's nothing going on there in that list.
Oh, there is.
I got Skorpekh to go with the Lord. A Vault. Why am I taking a Vault? Well,
fun, right?
Because it's fun. It's like the most fun unit that we've got. Some people don't like it because it's 425 points. I like it because my opponent can't sit behind that giant fucking L with their 3 wound models waiting for me to be charged. I can just start sending missiles up, and now they wound the little knights on 3s. It's still fucking damage 3 dev wound indirect and all of the big knights are characters, so I'm just copiuming the shit out of this and saying that I could put on a 50-50, I could do 6 dev wounds, which turns to 5 because they have a feel of pain. But we love the Vault. Can I fit it on the deployment? Not that well. Will it get shot first turn? Yeah, it fucking will.
It will.
Do I care? No,
No,
I'm going to be dodging. I'm going to be dodging Imperial Knights round one, and Chaos Knights, so I won't get shot off the table because it can only deploy in one spot. Same goes for Purge, and I'm
obviously
just going to win those games
you
anyway, so
can
it's
dodge
fine.
some railguns and dodge those
Yeah,
Terran effects too.
and I'm the only Phalanx player. So when you see Phalanx at 100% win rate this past weekend, it's because of me, boys, or it's going to be at zero.
It's because he went 1-0 and then dropped to keep that
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
So his round two opponent went, no, I'm not doing that. I've got medical emergency. I got to go.
Yeah, just see that I paired knights round two, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't do this actually.
I told you I was dropping guys. You have to drop me before, so I don't get a loss.
Yeah. All right, and I got Triarch Praetorians because I'm trying them out. They are actually quite cute in this attachment. They're
I
not even
like
bad in Starshire, to
no,
be honest.
I
I'm
like
warming up for
them
them.
because they are pretty good at killing Thousand Sons and Blood Angels, which is what
Mm,
I kind of want from one of my units. However, you're never using the +1 to wound for them, so they're kind of bad in this detachment.
that's
Apart
quite.
from the OC, the OC is the best part.
That's
Being able
quite rude.
to fall back and charge something else if you survive, but it's
And they
survival.
can precision something.
Can they?
Yeah, you
Oh
can use
yeah,
the
you can
strat
give
to
them
give
a
them
strat.
precision, baby. They could fight on death on a 4 up. That means three of them could fight if they die, all die. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, and then Triarch Stalkers because they're just really good for the points. They get the +1 to wound, they scout. And I found that on the new maps for UKTC, the way that these little L's are positioned are perfect for them to scout and just sit in because they don't have a base, so they can be snug right against the corner. They can like
Mm.
sit right in the corner and just be super snug and not get shot. And again, 7OC, which is nice.
Yeah, so the Stalkers are good in this. They can actually contribute quite well.
Yeah, it's super solid. I'm just taking this list because I just didn't want to play something I didn't want to play. Basically, that is all there is to it. I could have just taken a Starshatter version of this list, but I know I wouldn't have enjoyed it.
Could
So
have taken 2 Volt King Hyperbeam.
yeah, could have, but that would have been even worse. That would have been horrible.
So good with the 2 DDAs as well. Yeah, you're killing everything.
Yeah, that would have been horrible.
Okay,
But
next,
yeah, that's my list. So catch me at Leeds. Fucking catch me in the bottom tables when I lose round one.
no, you can't because it's going to be my Triarch Praetorians on the table that are going to be carrying you through. So
Yeah,
I
that's
want
it.
a kill
If
count.
they do work for me, all
I
right, we
want
got.
a, I want a kill count of how many models my
There you
Praetorians kill.
go. I will do that. All right, we got
You
Crumble Wumble, friend of the
can't
channel.
call him that.
Crumble Wumble, that's his nickname. He's playing Canoptic Court again. He played this at
He doesn't
uh,
know that's his nickname.
Bristol. We're gonna just run through it super quick. He's got triple Technomancer with 3 enhancements.
Enhancements.
Crazy.
I like the weave. The weave is really good.
Is that the mortal wounds when they
Yeah,
charge you?
but it's every turn. It's not
Nice. Oh no,
once.
just when they charge.
Not like the incursors,
Hmm.
which are once per battle.
It's not like a
This is
melt of mine.
no.
It's
It's
like a
just
melt of mine every turn.
yeah. And then he's got the reroll ones to wound, and he's got the infiltrate.
Nice. Triple DD, sorry, Doomstalkers, triple
Yeah,
Scarabs, triple
triple ray.
Wraiths, 1 Thrall, triple Deathmark, triple 3-man Locust Destroyers.
Yeah. So I feel like he's made a few changes. I don't remember the last one having 3 death marks in it. I think he had 1 or 2, but um,
Yeah, he's
I feel
changed.
like he's missing reanimators to me. For them race, I kind of want some reanimators running around.
Yeah, I drop one of these. And
But,
then
well, you
you
drop
can
all
put a
of the
75, and
locals.
then that, and you can put a 75-point model in. So you can drop 2 of these and put 2 reanimators in.
But you'll have 40 points then as well
There,
for, for more scarabs. If you drop.
2 reanimators.
Oh, you're talking about Deathmark. So I was talking
Yeah,
about the.
1
I was
Locust, 1
talking about the
Deathmark.
Locust Destroyers.
And do you know what you could do? Do you know what I was thinking about recently? I was thinking about 6-man squads of Scarabs. I was like,
Yes.
wouldn't that actually not even be that bad against big knights?
Well, they have to put their big guns in to kill a race instead of anything else, which is kind of funny.
Like, imagine if you had 18 Scarabs and 18 Wraiths. Would that not just be the most obnoxious shit to play against as a big knight?
Yeah. Especially when the
Like,
scarabs keep coming in and blowing themselves up.
yeah, like and then you have spiders to res the Scarabs, like sat behind walls. I was like,
Six
maybe we're
spiders.
cooking.
6 spiders,
Yeah,
six,
maybe not
18
6,
scarabs. Oh no,
but we're
because
cooking.
because each Scarab unit can point at the same. Sorry, each Spider unit can point at the same Scarab unit and bring back 2 bases.
Mm,
So you can
yeah.
be like, oh, I've got 1 wound left on this guy. At the end of your command phase, you're back on 6 again.
Yes, but you'd have to have 6 spiders next to each other.
And that's when you then also take a command barge for the extra OC.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that there isn't more cryptex in this list.
I
Because
would have liked triple Psycho.
if I was designing this list to play against knights, I would absolutely want 3 disposable cryptex to just run out, charge, and die, so I can get +1 to hit and wound for my Doomstalkers and my Scarabs and my Wraiths for the rest of the game against that big knight. It's like the perfect. 55
Yeah.
points, you get more than 55 points worth of value, especially with the big knights being T11 now. It means the Wraiths are normally winning them on 5s with the melee, but goes down to 4s, and that's like a big swing in terms of damage output. So, yeah, I'd have ditched all 3 of those death marks, and I'd have just put in, 3 Plasmancers or 3 Psychomancers, and just gone, right, I'm just going to throw them at a knight. I'm going to charge your knight with my Psychomancer so it can die and I can get +1 to him wound against you.
Yeah, the Psychomancers would be decent as well, just to force the battle shocks.
Yeah, so they can't rotate if you do try and
playing
kill
versus
them.
crawlers are a bit of an issue at the moment, but yeah, I can see where you're coming from. All right, we'll jump on straight onto this bloody chump.
Yeah.
Jeff
Finally
Bennington.
decided to play Necrons now instead of
Yeah,
silly statements.
yeah, he's jumped ship again. Fucking hell, just no loyalty with this
No
guy.
loyalty.
And he's friend of the channel. He's playing basically the list that he took to Battlefield Birmingham many moons ago.
I think it's the exact same list, right?
Yeah, it probably is. I think he might have swapped this. I think this is new.
No, he definitely
Um,
had the Tomb Blades and the
did he?
Spider.
Well, the spider's there. I meant the destroyer and the tomb blades.
No,
But anyway, we've got King 2 hex marks, 1 with the enhancement, double flayed 1, Ophidians, boo, Skorpekh, single destroyer, tomb blades, double DDA, spider vault. Pardon
yeah.
me. So it's basically just a faster version of my vault. My vault's more durable, but his vault is quicker.
It moves. Yeah,
His vault can move about. My vault
no,
is moving slowly.
it's very similar to the core list that I was playing a long time ago. King, 2 DDAs, Vault, Spider, and
Yeah.
then I had 3 hex marks because I just think they're amazing. Guppy Downey for 75 points. Obviously, he's only gone for 2. I was also playing Praetorians at this point because they're like better versions of Death Marks, and they can also run around too. So it's a solid list.
Yeah.
I would like to see the Skorpekh destroyers actually be Skorpekh lords though, because they're more likely to do some damage into knights, and they're more likely to survive a bit of shooting as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Next one. Danny Everson.
The fakest of
Teammate of
fake.
mine.
Isn't he higher ranked Necron player than you now? Am I getting that wrong, or is he?
I haven't checked, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm not concerned with trivial matters.
can't call him. All right.
He's the fakest Necron player around. Doesn't know what any data sheet does. I'm not going to shit talk Danny. I love Danny. Right, he's playing. I thought his list was. I said to him, I was like, "Your list is wild." He's like, "Oh, I'm just making content for your podcast."
We're definitely going to shit talk one of these models.
And it's like, right, well, I'll see how he does before I shit talk him. I don't want to shit talk him and then be wrong. See,
He'll do well. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player. All right, so he's got Zeraz. He's playing. Oh yes, he's got
No,
Zeraz.
no, wait. Just read out the units and then tell us.
Oh, okay, of course.
Because everyone's going to assume that this is going to be.
He's got Zeraz. He's got Oricon. He's got Catacomb Command Barge. Does this look familiar, guys? He's got Hexmark. He's got a Royal Warden. He's got a Technomancer. He's got 20 warriors. He's got 2 lots of thralls, 1 squad of scarabs, wraiths, Doomstalker randomly. Fucking must have chucked that one in there.
Yeah.
Reanimator, Spider, 2DDA, Ghost. All right, guys, what do we think he's playing? Awaken, it must be.
No,
of course it isn't. It's Starshatter Arsenal. Danny,
what
my
is
friend,
going on there?
why have you got a bloody Doomstalker in here, son? What is this doing in here? I don't give you a list to play with one time, and you just put a fucking Doomstalker in there. Just thrown it in.
Yeah.
Absolute psychopath.
I mean, surely you could find 60 points to put another DDA in
He's a
there instead.
psychopath. Yeah, I would have dropped one of the Thrall squads if I'm honest with
But,
you. You're a psychopath for for
absolutely.
putting that in
And
there.
he's got ignores cover on 20 warriors.
Yeah, you drop the Hexmar maybe, but yeah, maybe that sits on his home actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a psychopath. You're an absolute psychopath for
There's no
taking.
no no Imotekh in the hungriest CP hungriest catacomb.
Yeah, he's going to be struggling, son.
Warriors are going to get wrecked. He's going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to reanimate." Oh
He's
no.
going to reanimate once.
Um,
They're going to get
yeah.
shot and shot and shot, and then he's going to, oh yeah, I'll just reanimate.
Wait until the end of his fight phase and then go, "I'm going to reanimate." Oh, I haven't got any
His own
CP.
fight phase. His own fight.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, it's all right. I'm going to say this now, Danny. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good
Gonna
luck,
need it.
mate. Like I trust your ability to build a list.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of like when you see someone driving down the road with an old car that happens to be three cars that have been like welded together. You've got the front part, you've got the mid part, and the rear, and they've all been welded together. They're all different colours, but they're happy. They're happy driving this car
Yeah,
because they get to where to be. And
he's
that's
got
what
like a Canonical Court list, an Awakened list, and a Starshatter list,
yeah,
like
it's
fucking welding together.
like a box. And you're just shoving the bits in. Like this is going to fit.
He's
This
just
is
had one
going
of
to be
those
fit.
bingo machines where he's like rolled it out and he's like, oh, the front end of an Awakened list. Oh, the damage of Starshatter.
Yeah, Tombola. You mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I'm genuinely curious to see how all of these Necron players do.
Hey, I mean, it could be a genius move. Let's be
It could
honest.
be. I mean, the Doomstalker's really thrown me off, to be
I
honest. If I have 140 points left over, I never even consider that unit.
Stalker, right?
Yeah, the Stalker. Yeah, yeah.
It's got more wounds. Probably. I mean, it's an Overwatch threat as well as the hex mark because it can hit on fives. But with it, when it's not re-rolling all of its hits in Comtech Core, it's still pretty shit. Oh, I've rolled a one for number of shots. So I've got two shots and I'm hitting on fives. Well, there you go. That's nothing.
Well,
Yeah.
is what it is. All right, now we've got the fucking. Whoa. Okay, I pressed the wrong button.
One other thing.
No, I just need to share my screen again. It's fine.
One
One
other thing.
second.
I just want to check one little thing.
All right, now we've got the gigarist gigachad in the entire world, right? This man knows what he's doing, right? He's taking Awakened Dynasty.
Yeah.
He's got Zeraz. See, this is right. This looks
Who is
better.
it?
He's got
Who is it?
Zeraz,
Who is it?
Orokin. Okay,
Who is
wait.
it? Who is it?
Trazan.
Who is it? What's his
Who
name?
is it? It's.
That's
I ain't gonna try that. It'll be.
Mr. McGrath.
It'll sound like a slur in some sort of language. I imagine if I try and pronounce that. He's got fucking Orokin. He's got Zeraz. Like, okay, this is an Awaken list. He's got Trazan. All right, fine. I can get behind that. Sticky objective, sure. Like if he's. Okay, he's got Chronomaster. This looks like a lot of characters. Oh, Overlord of a Resolve. What? Okay.
The wrong
And
Overlord.
he's got the Feel No Pain for some reason. But okay, fine.
No, that's the plus one to hit.
Is that the plus one to hit? No, surely not.
Which I'm looking at this is going to give literally the monolith and the two reanimators plus one to hit. That is it. I think this guy is under the impression he's going to get plus one to hit.
Wait, why has he not got the stealth? He's not got stealth. He's not taking the stealth
He's also got
enhancement.
the wrong overlords. If you are taking overlords, you're taking the translords, so you can break out of jail.
Yeah.
Realistically, they should
no.
be. They 100%
Alfie, I'm assuming.
It should be three Royal Wardens.
Oh no, sir. All right, fine. All right, Technomancer, 60 fucking warriors. Drop Mike. Don't give a fuck. Hey, Nightmare. I don't fucking care. Don't care. What are you gonna do? Kill all 60 in what? Yeah, they might do, but maybe not. And he's got no Ghost Arc, which is really upsetting.
Yeah.
Triple Crypto for all. Boy needs a free up save.
Who owns 6 Crypto for all?
Double Reanimator, Monolith. Just fucking. And he's got 4 Death Rays because he's remembered to do it.
So,
I need to find this man and shake his hand.
A Monolith is actually pretty viable on this new set.
It actually can move on this terrain.
I was trying it myself just to see. Like, I had all of the layouts laid out, moving it around. I'm thinking this is actually possible. But then I remembered the most important thing. I don't have a 4 pinball in any detachment apart from Hyper, which then doesn't care about moving around. So Monolith is a very brave choice in a world of everything has a billion AP.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. It
And
is very funny. I would have loved a Ghost Arc, but he has no characters put in it, so maybe not. And then,
he's got Serras.
oh yeah, of course, yeah. So yeah, you could put Zeros in there, but
I also
you've got
think
Trazan sticky. Oh god, I want to play this just because it
well,
looks so funny.
the Monolith also is considerably worse because you get used to playing the Monolith in Hyper, where you have the charge out of it and you have the pull a
Yeah,
unit
but it's
back.
hitting on twos. If it's shooting at 12-inch range, it can reroll ones to hit. So it's hitting on twos, rerolling ones, right? And then it can advance and shoot. So don't see what kind of argument you're even making here. Hitting
Uh,
on twos, roll ones, advance and shoot.
Imagine if you played this against Mark's Tachyon arrows. It's just dead.
The Tachyon
AP5.
arrows would get fucking. The Tachyon arrows
AP5,
would
mate.
bomb this.
AP5 is dead.
No, it's
You're not
just
getting a
it's a
save,
six
bro.
up.
You're not getting a save. No,
He'll
you
be in
just
cover.
no, because it's solar pulse, mate. You don't get
Oh, of
you don't
course.
get cover.
Yeah, that would ruin him. That would do him in.
I
And then
mean,
if it was, but what if it was in Phalanx, right? Phalanx, you shoot it with the Stalker so it ignores cover, and then you shoot it with the arrows, and it gets +1 to wound. So it's hitting on two. It's wounding on twos.
I remember the first time I played a Monolith in 10th edition. I played against Tau. My opponent ran one Piranha in front of the Monolith, went take a battle shock. It failed. He then did 19 damage to it because I couldn't four a pinball, and I rolled three
Mm,
fours on my saves.
that'll do it. But you were seething.
That's what happened. Well, it survived till the end of the game because I just then picked it up and hid it for the rest of it. But it was just that's what happens to a Monolith without a four pinball. It
All right,
just
now we've got this terrible list at the end.
wait, hang on. You think you missed half of that list off, right?
No, that was it.
Nah, there's more to the list than that.
That was not. That was it.
Why is your screen halfway scrolled down?
It's not. That's the bottom. Oh, you
Is that-
mean this? This
Where's the
list?
top bit? Where's the top bit?
I can't. There's nothing else to see. Yeah, if you want to read this, you can pause the video and read this fucking huge paragraph that Andy's decided to write.
I feel like it's now my thing that I have to do.
Yeah, it's your thing until you're trying to view the fucking list on the
But it-
phone, and
but-
you get calluses on your finger from scrolling for so long.
Well, that's part of this my little strat.
Yeah,
See,
part of
the other
charm.
thing is, of course, it's only good if I actually do well, and if I do it and then don't do well in one tournament, the next edition doesn't make any sense anyway. So yeah, this is the list that I decided to take. I regret every decision I've made up to this point. My decision-making paradigm was drunk. I don't know. I'm.
This, if you paid me money to think of what your final list was going to be, it would not have been this.
No, I don't think it would have been this either, to be honest. So the issue is, obviously, I've done quite well with 3 DDAs and race squad, but the race squad's expensive, and I got into my head that lots of people would start playing lots of race, which means people would probably start teching for race pretty hard. So maybe I don't take the race. I can get lots more stuff. This also stemmed from when we were practicing with the Skorpekh destroyers, because we took out the race to make the room for the points for the Skorpekh destroyers. So I played quite a few games without the race. In fact, every single practice game that I played since Bristol has been without race, apart from one where I was trying 2 squads of race. And no DDAs because I was playing literally a meme list with everything had a feel no pain, like Race, Catans, Feel No Pain, Skorpekh Lord, Saraz, that kind of thing. Which actually did okay into Thousand Suns, but yeah, I kind of decided I didn't want to play Race. I wanted to try something else, and then I seemed to happen to end up on this pile of stuff. You will notice there are Ophidian destroyers. I am a hypocrite also.
We're hypocrites together.
We are the OC Sticky 5 is pretty
It's
obnoxious.
only because of this fucking this OC Sticky 5, right?
If I was playing Starshatter, then I would take 2 squads of Tomb Blades for that instead of these guys. Um, in the majority of my test games, they sit at the back, they screen, they go up in the skies, they come back exactly where they started. Every now and then, I'll get recover assets turn 4 and 5, where I could put them in the deployment zone and get 6 points, and then they survive.
Well, you can see these. Look at that.
Horribly transport and build. Um, they've been in melee a few times. They have done literally nothing, as expected. They die when they get seen, but yeah, they are in the list and they're locked in. We've got. I decided I was trying a Skorpekh Lord and 3 Skorpechs, but in the end, I realised that they didn't do what I was hoping they'd do.
Mm.
And 3 Skorpekh Lords gives me a little bit more resilience all over the battlefield. Like if I'm going to put something out, because I'm pretty low on action, on things to stick out at the start, right? So a Skorpekh Lord, toughness 7 is a good breakpoint into things like JPIs, which go to strength 6 on the charge with Blood Angels. And, the strength 10 into Knights and the drones, they can kill a drone in combat with the impact multiples. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I've liked the Skorpekh Lord since they went down to 80 points. 90 points isn't too much more.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I like Skorpekh Lords.
I've gone with a Stalker. Problem I've got is when we were on TTS the other day, like looking at deployments and stuff for your weird list, the Stalkers there, like the legs are so high and so compact, and I look at my Triarch Stalker, whoever built it, because I bought it second hand, they literally opened it up like basically like a hooker.
Unlucky.
So I need to kind of rebuild it because on the old UKTC deployments, like on Search and Destroy, where you have your little L on your flank objective, it wouldn't actually fit through the gap to get there because it was too wide, where in reality it should do. So I've got a bit of work to do this week on that particular model to make it playable. And it's not like it's modeling for advantage, it's just whoever built it just thought, oh, this looks really cool with all the legs sticking out. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
Not cool at all.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild tournament. Last week? Did we look through the maps for UKTC? Can you remember or not?
No,
I don't think we
we wanted
did.
to do some testing before we actually, and we knew that they were going to make some changes. We
They did
thought
not
there
make
might
them.
be more changes, although it turns out, I think, despite them saying, "Look, please, people, email us with suggestions," I think it was only 5 people that actually did. Whereas, like everyone like me assumed everybody else was going to do it, so I didn't
Hmm.
bother. And who would listen to me anyway, right? And then nobody did, so they've basically just left it as it is, and they're like, "It's your own fault, guys." So yeah,
Yeah,
these
they do
new
listen to feedback. That's one thing that UKTC are very good for.
they are wild. These layouts. I've
Yeah,
played each
so
one about 4 times now. I think three
I
or
think
four
this
times.
one's easy to read in black. I think it's fine to read in black. It's just so it's not blasting
Yeah,
me in the face
yeah.
with a light
It's
screen like
it's nice.
that.
So yeah, it's a weird one. This deployment is your vault
Well,
is hot.
first, I put the vault. Very good question.
Yeah,
Yeah, the vault only goes in two places, and it's not the best.
you don't want to tell people
So
what it is they'll plan for you, Matt.
I'm not going to reveal all of my secrets, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's extremely well staged in the middle, the map, and these sides are incredibly open. But if
yeah.
you're here, if you're you can't see my
We
mouse.
can't see your
If you're
mouse.
on the edges of the board, trying to say you're on your left, say my deployment zone's the bottom. If you're on the left of the deployment zone, then and you try and move up to shoot somebody in that building, then it opens you up to a lot of fire
Yeah,
these angles, and there are tanks that can fit behind those tiny, tiny L's at the top,
or
like this
carnivores.
side.
Carnivores can fit
Yeah,
there.
like little stuff can just fit here. Any little tank.
In a
Um,
in a gun line versus gun line, you're not hiding, but you also don't want to put loads of stuff in strat reserves because it's so easy to screen out the sides on this map.
yeah, and
Literally, like
there's angles everywhere. It's tough.
yeah, but it's still melee based. I
Uh,
still fear melee more than shooting on this map because
it's
that
just
that that
fast
center big L is so
gun
hard to
good.
interact with that you know that wherever they stage there, they're going to stage there safely until they want to come out, and that's the issue. And if they've got advance and charge, they're hitting anywhere on the table. Do you agree?
Yeah, right. Well, yeah. I think it's a tough one. All right,
Round
we've got
two.
number two, Purge. This one is horrible as well. So Chaos Knights have the ability to go from this the top. I wish I could fucking draw on this, but I can't.
Yeah.
Uh,
I see your mouse though.
yeah, I just can't draw on this. Yeah, you can only see it when I'm like on the edge.
Uh,
So say somebody is on there at this bottom part, this bit.
yeah.
They can move diagonally all the way down to the bottom part of the map just before and see into your deployment zone, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
A big knight can move through that entire thing and
Mm.
shoot
Yeah.
into your deployment zone turn one. That is tough.
So you have to make sure that if they have the ability to move quick enough to get line of sight on your into your deployment zone behind the big L, then you need to have everything in position to murder them back, and that is tough. But I mean, the only thing you could do is if you were smart enough to play Squad of Flayed Ones, Matt, is you could just spread them out along the side and go, okay, these guys are just going to die, but I'm going to move block you so you
Yeah, that's
can't get
exactly.
there and line of sight, which is why I really wanted to play two Flayed Ones, but I ended up with one. I don't know how. I thought that was very silly. I should have had two.
Yeah, I wish I had a squad, but it is
Uh,
what it is. Yeah, this is Purge, and it is tough, this one, because if
yes,
they're fast enough, they can just move right into
yeah.
your.
And of course, if you're going to put the Flayed Ones out there to block their movement, then you're just giving them a free kill turn one, which is for primary, and that's a lot to give up.
There you go. It's like there. You can see if I back click, they can move there.
Yeah, so
Yeah, they can
you
go
can move
there.
and block it, but
Yeah, by going like here.
I think you have to, like, if you're playing Catan, for example, you have to stick two Catans just on there. So the only angle they can get is if they do move up there, but then you're close enough to charge the
Yeah,
following turn, and then they go,
yeah.
"Well, I have to kill the Catans, and if not, then the Catans kill me." So,
It's a rough one, but then we're
so
getting to the better maps.
I mean, this one's absolutely horrible. Like
I've
this is the one map I really wish I had Wraiths for because I could just dominate.
Yeah, sit in the middle.
Yeah, it's so easy,
Your
but
toe like there, and you're sitting here like that.
yeah, it's
Well,
yeah, it's pretty open again though. That's the thing. Like
yeah,
if you're again in the bottom left here and you go vertically upwards to that other objective, well, their whole army can just shoot you from their deployment zone. And then if you go out down the bottom, you have kind of the same thing. So it's quite a tricky map to stage vehicles and stuff. But obviously, if you're Chaos Knights, you just stage in the center and move through, and then you just kill stuff. So yeah. Um,
yeah, it's yeah.
yeah.
And then Dawn of War. I don't think Dawn of War should be in the map pack.
So
That's gonna be my feedback. I
I'm not
will give some feedback after this event.
I'm not a huge fan of having two of these deployment styles.
Yeah,
However, the one thing I would say is because of the way they lay the tables out, you can see TC events where they're all in a row. If you're in the center of that row and you're playing on, Crucible or something, it's really awkward because you have to walk all the way around. And sometimes, whereas at least two Dawn of War, the way it is, you kind of just stand on your
yeah, but
side.
that shouldn't be the reason that you'd play it.
Why?
Like
I
you
mean,
shouldn't have to play Dawn of War because
can
they
you think
refuse to
of a
put space around the
Can
tables.
you think of a better reason for putting Dawn of War in your pack than what I've just given you?
No, just don't play it.
Exactly. So that is the best reason why it's in there. so that you
No,
don't have
it
to.
shouldn't be a reason why you should play it.
It is a
Oh,
reason.
the tables are stuck together, so we should play Dawn of War.
Yeah,
That's a terrible reason.
it's a terrible reason, but it is the best reason.
No, it isn't. No,
It is because there's no other reason.
shouldn't be one.
It's a reason. It's a bad reason, but it's still a
But
reason.
this map is fucking abysmal. Like, why are these L's in the center? To like,
So
what? Do you know the distance, the movement you need to get from there to there? It's like
this this is an old
14 inches.
KTC map layout, I believe. The only change is the clear perspex or
Right.
the little. So I was one of my practice games yesterday or whenever it was. My opponent had played these. I think so. This was like 8th edition or start of 9th edition. Because I wasn't playing KTC tournaments until 10th edition. I'm not entirely sure. It might have even been start of 10th edition. But this was an old layout that they brought back, I think. And because it's Dawn of War, I don't think many people actually played it because most people just played Crucible and Search. So it's a tricky one. Like the center objective is so open. There's so many lines of shooting here. But if you're a melee army, you're actually reasonably happy with the amount of places you can stage.
If you're
Especially,
fast enough.
yeah. But who's playing a slow melee army?
Us.
Yeah, but okay. Who else apart from Necrons plays a slow melee army?
Don't know.
Orcs pretty fast. War, they got advance and charge. Blood Angels, jump packs.
Yeah, but
You
they're not
know,
fast. They're not. I mean, they got the trucks, but they have to deploy the trucks. How are you going to get from like there to there?
but you've stop messing around. You've got so many spots. Like you just deploy one truck in the center L. You move out. You're charging into the other one. You've got the you can put your trucks in such a way that there's only one shooting angle potentially, and they're not gonna line up the whole army down that shooting angle.
It's a
So
bit wild. And then we've got Taking Hold, which is basically the same as the other one,
yeah,
apart from these are 8 inches up instead of 10 inches up,
the
and they're slightly further across than they are.
the big L's in the center. Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
like this is meant to be. Yeah, so if we go back, like look, it's 10 across and 23 that way,
Yeah.
whereas it's 26 that way and 8 up.
Also, the little perspex, I believe, is also moved up rather than power.
Yeah, that's more open now,
Yeah, so
and
it
that's
is different. Look, I mean, we were all kind of complaining towards the end of the last edition that the layouts had been exactly the same for a year. We were a little bit bored of them. There was no change, and now they've changed it, and a lot of people are going, "Oh, I don't like the change."
no. I mean, I'm fine with trying it out. I'm
I,
not complaining about. I'm fine with trying it out and seeing how it
what I
is.
do have a problem with is round 6. Oh, look, it's the old layout.
Nice. Straight back to black.
It's the old layout. So is round 7. Now, obviously, no one wants to be apart unless your name is Josh Roberts. No one's assuming they're going to make the top cut, but it still needs to be planned for. So I don't know if they're going to play these odd layouts in round 6 and 7, or if they're going to revert back to like rounds 1 and 2. Maybe it was just an oversight in the pack. We'll see because the little booklet that they give you at the events only has rounds 1 to 5 in anyway,
Yeah.
and I see at Bristol with the old layouts. So yeah, we need to see what it's going to be like later on.
Yeah.
Hopefully we both make it. We both avoid each other to a 7-0 finish, but
That would be funny.
it would be
I mean,
nice.
I don't know. Our lists out of all the Necron ones.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's the players rather than the list. Like we're still playing good data sheets, and good data sheets can be used well. Then you're going to do well. It doesn't really matter whether the list is 99 or 100% streamlined and perfected. Somewhat close enough will probably work. Maybe our bad matchups are slightly worse, but you don't win a GT like Leeds by just playing bad matchups because you eventually come unstuck. So you need that little bit of pairings luck, and there's no reason we can't get it.
yeah, we'll be fine.
Are we
But
are we
yeah,
having
I mean,
are we having one of our little who finishes higher competitions? Or not?
yeah, sure. What do you want to bet?
I'm not sure.
The other person has to play the winners list at an RTT.
Yeah, but they're not bad lists though. That's the thing, and I'd happily play a vault. That's not a punishment. That's
Not a
like, yeah,
punishment.
I'm gonna make you happy by making you play a Volt. Nah.
You have to sell 25% of your army.
That is not happening. That is not happening. Although
Starshatter player refusing to bet against Phalanx player in a bet of
I'm not
in a
refusing.
contest.
I offered the bet. I just don't know what we're playing for. That's all. We can
Well, if
think
you
about
guys
that.
can
We've got
think of
the
anything, then
yeah,
and it's not, and try and think of something a bit different than just playing whatever detachment. We've done that. We played every detachment now.
yeah. We've both won
Uh,
RTT. Well, no, I won an RTT with Annihilation Legion. You came second, I seem to remember.
I did come second. Yeah.
But
I also had the agreed upon plus 1,000 plus points, and you had 995. I think, was that right? Yeah, that wasn't it? So you didn't even meet the criteria of the challenge.
yes, there
So
was
you
no
have to do it
criteria.
again.
There was no
There was
criteria.
1,000 points minimum.
I
We
rounded.
agreed.
I rounded. I'm a mathematician. I round up.
Round it up, you mathematician. Looking prick. All right, well, if you guys can think of anything, then please
Yeah,
do let us know. We'll try and do it. It'd be funny to do.
yeah.
Um,
Nothing weird.
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, and you can say whatever you want, but we won't do it if it's, if
Yeah,
it's super weird. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, well, we're going to do another video after Leeds. Pairings are soon. Wish us luck. Pray for no knights. No knights. Keep them away.
oh, if there is going to be
Uh,
nights, pray for them to be fluffy nights. Like
just
I'm
not
going to
round
play.
one. Just not round one. Like, I don't want to play them round one.
No,
Put
Terraform
them.
is awful against knights round one. I think.
That's what I mean. Just not round one,
But then
please.
Purge is also awful because they might just have 6 models
Yeah,
that
just not
play.
round one or three. Round one or two, sorry, and I'm done. If I can manage to dodge good matchup, bad matchups round one and two, I'll be smooth sailing. It's fine.
I mean, it's the question of is it the player or the army you're scared of? Because if you look through all the knights
The army.
players, there are some
I've seen the.
really good players playing knights, but there's also some people that we've never heard of.
It's an army right now that can beat a lot of lists just because of what it is.
Even well, any player can point 6 models of guns and shoot them and kill you.
Yep, pretty much. That's what I mean.
Unfortunately, and you have to respect it. I at Bristol, I had Imperial Knights round one. I seem to remember, and I was not a happy bunny because he had the gun
The Valiant.
with the anti vehicle monster 4 up dev wound 12 damage, and I'm looking at my
Yes.
list going, well, I could get wrecked here. However, it only has 4 attacks in melee, so flayed ones were the. Have you got flayed ones, Matt? Because flayed ones are really good in that for locking him in
No,
place. But you haven't got flayed ones.
I
So.
don't need them.
I mean, Praetorians will do the same
I've
thing.
got Praetorians.
And then
I've got Ophidians. Oof,
but Ophidian's only got three models, and he's got 4. Although 2
Yeah,
damage.
but it's
Two
only
damage.
two
They're 2
damage.
damage.
Don't you worry.
Yeah, but yeah, so I had to respect my opponent no matter how good he may or may not have been, and that was shown in the result because I think I scored like 80 points or something instead of 100, which I would probably aim for. But now you don't need to go for 100 points; you just need to get a win.
Yeah, I'm just going to win 5 times, boys. We've
Because
got it.
yeah, unless we play each other, and then
Then we'll draw
no,
and hit top cut.
no, I'm going to make you regret not taking 3 DDAs.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat you anyway. I'll vault indirect you. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm going to stay outside of 32 inches.
Nice. Like I give a fuck. Fucking vault DDA done.
Imagine if it was round one, how bad would we feel if we had to
Uh,
play through round one? See, the thing is, even if you go 4 wins and a draw, A, there's no guarantee that you'll make top cut, and B, it might just be the top player who had the 4 wins and a draw, so 2 players wouldn't get through. Sadly.
well,
Although at Bristol, 1 player lost and then had to play in round 7 to make up the numbers. There was
well, just in
12.
case, I just want to finish higher than you. That's it. I need to reclaim my fucking. I need to get rid of one of my RTT wins for my Necron thing and reclaim my spot.
Yeah, sorry. Whose spot?
My spot.
It's my spot, mate.
I was there
I got the
before.
trophy to prove it.
Yeah, we got the champion.
Nice spot.
It's fine. It's fine. Phalanx gamer. I'm just fucking nerfing myself. Nerf or nothing.
Sorry, have you seen the list
Everyone's
I've taken? Have you
everyone's
seen the
gonna
list I've
everyone's
taken?
gonna look back on this and they're gonna be like, "Wow, Matt really just fucking pulled one out of the bag there." I'm
Mate,
gonna
I'm
be
playing
Goophammer.
Obsidian destroyers.
I'm gonna be on Goonhammer, and they're gonna be like, "What? Phalanx is back?" And he's like, "How did he win?" It's, oh, he didn't play Knights one time.
Oh no, he played people in
He
the
played.
bottom 5% of the ELO each round.
Well, what can I say? I've got to be lucky in some respect, in some
Nah,
regards.
I think you'll do well. I think
We'll see how it goes. I'm
you
aiming
know
for
what the
three and
bottom.
two, but I fucking. I'm
You,
aiming for a positive win rate.
you'll do better than that.
We'll
And,
see.
and if it does go badly wrong, well, we'll commiserate each other with many
Yeah,
beers
I'll
in the
regret
evening.
everything I said. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. More content will be more common now, I'm sure. I say that every time. Hello, and I apologize. We will be doing some stuff eventually. We're just lazy. We're just busy. It's just many excuses.
It's not
Sorry.
lazy. It's miscommunication.
We're lazy.
Why? Yeah, lazy.
But thank you for watching, everyone. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, do all
Yeah,
that shit.
and
Thank
come and
you.
say hello. Like I say,
And
come
say
and say
hello.
hello.
Yes, say hello to us, and we will give you the face, the palm. Well, Andy will. He'll be like, fuck off.
I'm
I'm
busy
busy.
right
I'm playing
now.
my game. I'm fucking rolling dice. I'll be like, yeah, I sound, mate. No problem. All right,
Cool.
we'll catch you later, guys.
Cheers.